Read me the headline.
Brown's daughter says she will not testify at her mama's fraud trial. Yeah, I mean, really. And her picture on the front page of the Times-Union. And that's what he mentioned. He said, they're going after your daughter. I mean, that is, I don't want to talk about the case, but that's the kind of people that we're dealing with.
So she did file a motion to try to be able to invoke her Fifth Amendment right. Today,
Yes.
the prosecutors struck that down. They're still going to call her.
Well, I think then her attorney will react to that. I mean, so I mean, I'm not an attorney, but I think there are options there.
But as her mother, seeing your daughter, if it gets to that point that she's on the stand, what will you be thinking?
Well, you know, my attorney said that will not happen. So we'll just see, you know. We will see.
So you're confident they may be able to stop it?
Yes.
Okay. Also this week, the federal government filed, the federal government also notified the judge that if there is a guilty verdict, they want to seize your assets.
I heard that.
What does that do to you?
What assets? You tell me which ones. My house, my old cars. Come on. What should be most concerning is that they're talking about 350 years. You're talking about what assets do you if you're in prison for 350 years? If someone killed an entire community, they wouldn't get 350 years. I know that if my attorney was here, he would not want me to talk about it. But the point that I just want to make is that this is a part of the criminal justice system, and so many people have come up to me and talked about how that, you know, they come to you and say, we're going to give you 30 years or 350 years if you don't plead out. There's something wrong with that system, and it needs to be corrected. It's a reason why 99% of the people plead guilty, whether they're guilty or not. We discussed that. It's a book, Why Innocent People Plead Guilty.
So we're sitting here 3 days out from the start of jury selection. Is this starting to get very real for you?
It's been real. 15 months of real. I'm ready. I am ready for this chapter in my life to be over.
So the judge, the federal judge, has also come out and said that once the trial begins, he does not want anyone involved to be speaking to the media.
That's right. That's why I'm here with you today.
What do you want to say to the people here in Jacksonville, Orlando, anyone that you represented for all these years ahead of your trial?
I want to thank them for their support and prayers, because they have been so supportive. I can't go anywhere. People come up in the middle of the mall, stop me and say, I want to pray for you. It's just been wonderful, the kind of support that I've received from all of the communities. It was amazing. You know, I don't think people know me as well, let's say walking down the streets of Orlando. And I was walking down the streets of Orlando yesterday, and a lady came up to me and she said, I know you. She said, you're famous. What does that mean? She said, and I'm praying for you. So everywhere I go, I get that.
Some critics may say that you're out speaking in order to try to taint the jury pool right now. What would your answer be to that?
Well, I was reading something from Martin Luther King. I just hope that the jury pool is educated, they listen to the facts, and they make their decision based on the facts. And when I was coming up, it was a program, Sergeant Joe Friday. He used to say, badge 714. He said, the facts, ma'am, just the facts. So I'm looking forward to presenting my facts. You know, it's a Proverbs saying that, you know, everything sounds really bad when they present their case until the other side present their case. And I'm looking forward to presenting my case.
Is there a potential juror that you, Corrine Brown, want to see in that jury box? And is there also a potential juror that would make you nervous to decide your fate?
No, and I think that's what the attorneys and the experts do. That's not where I am.
We interviewed an attorney earlier this week who said as much as you don't want race to come into play, especially when you're talking about someone's future, it's inevitable in this case that race may be a factor.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think race is a factor in your case?
I'm sure it is in the prosecution of the case, but my attorney has said, don't say that. But the point is, I have looked around how the prosecutors have constantly gone after African American elected officials in this area. It's eye-opening. It's like one at a time. You know, and I look at some of the cases and I say, wow, how is that a federal case? That looked like a state issue, something that could have been resolved through the state or the state government. But, you know, we just have a very aggressive going after African Americans elected officials in this region, not just in Jacksonville.
You said at the beginning of this was a witch hunt by the Department of Justice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you still believe that?
No, of course I do. Absolutely. If you heard what Bruce said, I mean, we have so many different cases that should have been pursued and wasn't followed through, whether we're talking about, you know, the terrorist attack, whether we're talking about Jacksonville is #1 with human trafficking. I mean, it's just interesting how we operate in Jacksonville. And you saw an example of that yourself. When we was walking into the courtroom last time, a couple of weeks ago, I guess, we had a prosecutor outside taking pictures saying, we got your girlfriend. I just mean, what other courtroom in the entire country would that happen to? Not one. Not one. I don't believe that there is another courtroom in the country that a prosecutor would be outside taking pictures, marking the person coming in. That's not professional. That's not the way that you expect the office to operate. My attorney, he said, I don't believe it. I think this. I said, no, that's who it is. And he's the person that prosecuted Reggie Fuller. And he is standing outside saying, I just finished taking pictures of your girlfriend. Who in that courthouse is my boyfriend? But that's demeaning the office. And I bet the judge didn't know that that was going on. It's sad.
The prosecution filed their witness list this week.
Mm-hmm.
It includes 45 names.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anyone on here that was a surprise to you? Anyone that makes you nervous to get on the stand and testify against you?
No. I got a good list too. 2 mayors, 2 members of Congress. I'm happy with my list.
So here's your list right here.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is going to provide the most eye-opening testimony?
Oh, I don't know. My attorney is ready for both sides.
All right, so let's say that the prosecution lays out their case, and some of the jurors have already made up their mind that Corrine Brown is guilty. What is your defense going to present to change that juror's mind?
But to be truthful, I don't want to talk about that aspect of the case. If you want to know how I'm feeling going in, you know, what am I going to do this weekend? I'm going to go to church on Sunday, and I went to church last weekend during the Easter time, and I'm going to spend time with my family. But I really don't want to talk about, and my attorney will be in town Sunday, and I don't know whether he can talk with you. He'll be in here Saturday or Sunday. But I really don't want to talk about his strategy or their strategy. I really have put this in the hands of the attorneys and his staff, and they're doing a good job. I'm convinced of that. As someone said, the Lord sent me my attorney, and I'm very pleased with him. Attorney James Smith, you know, he's a graduate of Hampton. The Army sent him to Hampton and to Duke. He served as a JAG officer in the military. He worked at Florida A&M University, and he told me he's always known that he would be my attorney. I say, really? I didn't know it, but I'm very happy that we're together.
So he and I were talking today about this new 49-page exhibit list that the prosecution filed.
And he's doing his too, I understand.
Yes, he will be filing his today as well.
Right, right.
In it, it's a lot of things coming and going from your office, a lot of direct deposits involving Ronnie Simmons, Vaughn Alexander, few involving Chantrell.
You still talking about the details of the case that I'm not comfortable talking about, nor have I looked at it, and that is really what the attorneys need to work out. So I'm just really, at this point, a figurehead when it comes to the details. I haven't looked at his exhibit list. He's working on it as we speak. That's why he's not here today with me. And they're working on theirs, and I understand it had to be in today at 12 o'clock. So,
well, so a conversation he and I just had, did you ever really do much emailing on your own behalf with people?
baby, I don't know about emailing. I don't know anything about emailing. I don't even know about texting. Now I know how to send you a picture sometime. So no, there are no emails that I've sent.
So how do you communicate with people?
Phone, old-fashioned way. It still works. You pick up the phone and you call somebody. I like that.
So if someone got into your account and saw emails coming from your account, was Corrine Brown sending those emails?
No one. Corrine Brown don't send emails. Corrine Brown don't do Facebook, but I understand I'm on it. So that's not me. I'm not technology savvy, and everybody know that. And I believe in communication the old-fashioned way, telephone.
Will any of your witnesses get up there to testify to that?
I don't know what my witness is going to testify. You just heard from one.
Mm-hmm. So another big headline that will be in the paper and covered by the media today is in this exhibit filing, we were able to see some exact numbers coming out, and by adding it up, it appears roughly $70,000, if not a little bit more, was directly deposited into your bank account from One Door for Education. So if you've been in Congress for more than 20 years at that point, did you at all ever think, wow, I've got more money here recently than I used to?
As I said, those are the prosecutor's figures, and those are not my figures, and we'll just figure that out once we go to court, okay? Because my figures are different from their figures, and I don't know where they get their figures from. So basically, we'll just see. I'm confident that we have our information together, and I'm ready to roll.
Did anyone else have access to your bank accounts?
You still asking me questions that we need to solve once Tuesday is over,
Okay.
Wednesday.
Fair enough.
All right.
But so let's talk more about how you're doing. I mean, you're home in Jacksonville.
Yes.
So what will Corrine Brown, where will Corrine Brown be staying, and who will she be with during the duration of this trial?
Well, I have friends and family, and I'll be with them. And I'll be doing just what I always do. Getting a lot of comfort food.
Are you sleeping well lately?
Yes. Sleeping. Working. I'm doing what I always do.
So when Monday morning rolls around and you're walking into the federal courthouse for jury selection for your corruption trial, how will you be doing?
Well, you're going to see me, right? I'll be doing fine. I'm ready. I'm ready.
But we see you in this mix of confidence and tears at times.
Yes, that's true. Tears because it's such a tough time, but I'm okay. You know, I just know the Lord didn't bring me this far to leave me, period.
Are you confident that your defense is
Yes.
ready?
Yes, yes. I spent a lot of time over the past few months with my defense team, and I'm confident that we're ready.
Are you still planning to testify?
Yeah. Well, I don't suppose to say, right? but I will. I will testify. No one can tell my story better than I can.
So what are we going to hear from Corrine Brown on the stand?
Now, come on.
People want to know.
Well, I'm going to tell my story.
You know, there's no cameras in court. There's no audio in court, so the people at home aren't going to be able to see it.
Yes, but you all will be writing notes, and they'll get it. And how will they get it? You'll be talking on the phone afterwards. Can y'all have phones in the court?
No.
Oh. But I bet by the time we have the 6 o'clock news, they'll know everything that's going on in that courtroom every single day.
But go ahead and tell them, what's your demeanor going to be like? Are you going to be nervous and scared? Are you going to be defiant, angry?
I'm going to be Corrine Brown. Corrine Brown that know that, you know, when she was born, she got a birth certificate, and when she dies, she's going to get a death certificate. And that dash in between is what she's done to make this a better world. That's who I'm going to be.
Did you ever think we would get this far?
Well, based on these issues, I still think it's a winch shot. And nothing is going to change that.
You seem a little bit more subdued than when we spoke at your attorney's office last month. Explain that to me.
Well, this is a tough time.
Are you getting nervous?
No, I'm not. Do I supposed to be?
I don't know, you tell me. I mean, it's federal trial, 350 years in prison,
Yeah.
a max sentence.
Yeah.
I mean, that would scare a lot of people.
Yes, but does that make any sense to you? Tell me what's wrong with the criminal justice system. You cannot sit there and tell me, based on these charges, I should be facing 350 years. Something wrong with the system. Something wrong with the system. And it needs to be corrected. And I say, Lord, why me? He said, why not you? This got to stop. And it's going to stop with me.
So if Corrine Brown is set free by the jury, what will you walk out on the courthouse steps and say?
My attorney got his speech ready.
Oh, but come on, you know you'll be speaking.
Oh, yes, but I will say now, because, you know, it's just like when you have your head in the lion's mouth, you better ease it out.
So you kind of emotionally can't even let your mind and your heart go there?
No.
So the reality of prison is still there for you, the fear of that?
No.
No.
No. I understand that failure is not an option. Not an option.
Have you at all emotionally prepared yourself if you are sent to prison for any amount of time?
No, absolutely not.
At times like this, people might turn to a therapist or someone to speak to.
Oh, I'm sure I've turned to one or two. Yeah, of course. I've had to have counseling and medication and whatever.
Yeah.
And like I said, during this time period, you know who your friends are. And I still have some friends.
All right, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I'm ready.
So you don't have like an ideal juror in your mind at all?
I think somebody does, but I do not.
Did you submit any questions to your attorney for the jury?
No, but I'm sure he did.
Now, but do you want someone on the jury that knows who Corrine Brown is?
I think it would be hard to find someone that don't know who Corrine Brown is. Now, that doesn't mean they like her or not like her, but I just think everybody knows who she is.
Are you scared of someone who knows who you are and has already made up their mind that they don't like you?
Well, I hope we can weed that person out. I hope, as Martin Luther King Jr. said, you get people that want to be educated to the facts. And I'm confident that the facts will set me free.